Hello, everyone. This is again Ash and Simon from Nice Game Bunker in Bonn, and we're back with another installment of our clan overview videos.
That's right, Vampire the Masquerade Heritage. You will take control of nine clans, and we're going to go through in this series every one of them and explain how they work in this game.
Right, and today's clan is the Nosferatu.
So the Nosferatu are my favorite clan. They're my guys. And the sort of premise for these, if you've seen the movie Nosferatu, this is going to give you very similar kinds of vibes. So these clan are they're sort of hideously deformed, kind of outcast from both mortal and vampiric society. And because of that, they tend to live in low places, in sewers and cellars in the darkness. And they trade in secrets, and they're sort of nobody wants to, in vampiric society, wants to admit that they're friends with the Nosferatu, but everybody's using them and they're using everybody at the same time.
Right. And this is exactly the kind of hook that we've used for the mechanism of the Nosferatu in the game. So their special ability, the thing that only they can do, is actually that some of their cards are black market cards. Now, what that means is when you play this card, you actually give other clans and also your clan the opportunity to use and reuse the effect of that scheme, paying boons, which is a currency in the game. In that way, we basically reflect this Nosferatu being the shadow brokers that other clans can turn to, gaining powerful effects. But again, since they give the Nosferatu a boon for doing it, they're paying potentially high cost as well.
Right, and there's a little bit of a kind of worker placement mechanic here where every round these black markets will become available, and you could have 3 or 4 of them up at once. You can set up a real kind of shop front as the Nosferatu and kind of lure people into it during the turn. But we'll get to that. Every round, once a boon is placed on a black market and the effect is triggered, it can't be used again. So particularly towards the end of the game, there's a lot of discussion around who's going to get it on the round. We'll go into that next. Unlike some of the others, it's fairly clear. There's usually one track here to take, which is that you want to get your black markets out as soon as possible, and you want to be luring other players into using them. So it's vital that they are focusing on these at the start of the game. It means it can be a little bit sort of slow for them at the start because you don't necessarily get these effects yourself when you play them. But that is a very important addition, which is that the Nosferatu player themselves can trigger these effects.
Exactly. My winged emissaries, my hidden agents are not only for you to use. I can obviously use them myself. And since I can use them freely, I'm actually at a big advantage once I get a bit of a engine going, let's say, because I can use these powerful effects, play additional schemes, give other players infamy, which is, by the way, another strong point of the Nosferatu in general. They know everyone's secrets, so they can basically reveal that infamy, that infamous thing that your characters did before joining you.
But I would say the effect is it's stronger to take the boon. The way that the boons work as a currency is they're kind of a zero-sum currency. They're literally favors that vampires owe to each other for various things. It's such an interesting choice. There's the security of getting the effect yourself in the round, and then there's the, I think, more powerful benefit of coaxing somebody into using this black market.
Right, and as we already hinted at a little bit earlier, once the game goes on, some of these effects, it actually becomes a matter of priority to block them from the Nosferatu, but also from other players. Once we get into the second last to last turn, playing an additional scheme, which is one of their most powerful black market schemes, using the winged emissaries, is actually a power move. And so then sometimes a whole game revolves around wanting to or needing to basically become the first in the player order in order to snatch away that crucial black market scheme, which we think is a really cool moment of power for the Nosferatu.
And I think the counter to the Nosferatu, a little bit like the Toreador, is just don't play their game kind of thing. Like, just don't engage with the black market. There's a sort of tragedy of the commons things where if everybody doesn't engage with it, it's fine. The danger there is then you're then leaving all of those spaces, all of those black markets available for the Nosferatu. But they can be very contingent, contextual. Like playing the extra scheme isn't necessarily just a good thing. You know, drawing an extra clan scheme isn't necessarily a good thing.
Right. One thing we should mention in regards to the Nosferatu and as well the Toreador, which we've previously discussed, is that obviously the player count plays a huge role. So for some of these clans, a certain player count is almost prohibitively problematic, because if you play 2 players and you invite the other guy, it doesn't really work that well. While they thrive at different numbers. Now, obviously, this creates a little bit of an unbalance, but it's up to the players to navigate these issues and find the best course for each individual game that they play.
Exactly, because there's other things going on. For instance, the Nosferatu, I think, are very powerful when the Inquisition is in play, because their ability to move infamy around. Whereas the La Sombra are, I think, strong when the court is in play, because they have a lot of power abilities. So this player count thing just becomes another sort of variable to weigh up.
If you like this kind of content, like us, subscribe to the channel, or buy the game. And remember, we'll be back with more details on clans, characters, and all other kinds of stuff in the next few weeks.